Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, October the 25th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Seeing versus looking for part 2 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. Walmal, you said something right before we did the video about honing the skills.
Yeah, yeah, that's our job, is to hone our skills, And for full transparency, I've not had a very good day. I'm up for the day. I've made what I'm supposed to make, but I'm just making a lot of mistakes, and the reality is that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days when you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and hopefully what you're able to do is correct it quick enough that you're able to go and protect your account, because mission one we've been talking about for the last couple of days, but mission one, preserve capital. My motto is preserve capital at all costs, and it's funny because that reminds me of a story about Shaq O'Neal, the great basketball player. He played his first game as a rookie, and he played against the New York Knicks, and he had a horrific day. I mean, probably the worst day in his entire career. Just went out there and just was, as they would say, he was a turd on the court, and and his father called him up after the game and said, "Get your butt on a plane and back out here to LA immediately. I need to go and talk to you." And he flies out right after the game, goes to the coach and says, "Coach, my dad is demanding I come back. I don't know what's wrong. He's never been like this before, but I got to go." So he gets on the plane, flies out, right? And his father said, "What happened last night?" And he said, "The pressure got to me." "Oh, pressure got to you, huh?" "Get in the car." And they drive off into, a really, really poor section of LA. And they see a homeless person with their family out there. And his father points at that homeless family. He said, "That's pressure. You're playing a game. That's pressure." He's wondering where the next meal's going to come from. And I think there's a lot to that story that we can learn about in terms of trading. And that is that what we need to do is put things in perspective. And we got to look for the trades. We got to see the trades. And we got to execute the trades. And I think that's kind of our topic today. This whole idea of what's looking for a trade versus seeing a trade. And the dictionary says that looking is the active, intentional want to go and look for something, to go and actually look for it, to actually see it happen. Okay, so it's like you're going on vacation and you see a beautiful view. Okay. And the thing is, you see the view. That's just seeing the view. Looking for the view is you're actually on the hunt while you're on vacation to find that view. So there's both things I think are in play when you trade, and neither one of them is bad, but you got to be able to do both. You got to be looking for the trade, but at the same time, you got to be able to see the trade, and they both come into play. And the problem is that if we don't go and look for it, well, we'll never see it. But at the same time, if we don't see it, we'll never execute it.
Yeah, so for example, right now, price is in the upper wick zone. I flipped the chart as you were talking, because it's like, what do you see? You see price moving up through the wick zone. So now it's like, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a trade. It's because we know it's not going to stay in the wick zone. It's either going to, blast through the top, or it's going to fall through the bottom. I mean, what do I look for? I look for that 40 launch pad, and we were both, we saw it, in the last hour, and it was like, there it was. I mean, from 40 to 1400, that would have been 60 pips had we stayed in.
Right. And in fact, the worst thing about it was, we both saw it sitting out there, and we were looking for it because we knew it was coming. Because you actually went and said it's tried to go and break this level 3 times. It's probably going to go and break it this time. And I said, yep. If it goes and breaks the 40, 41, something like that, it's off to the races. I think that's basically what I said. And what did it do? It broke it, and it broke that 40 line. And then once it broke it, it did get a little bit of a retrace back down, but nothing of any consequence. And then it just, blasted, all the way up. Where is it at right now? Is, all the way up right now.
17, 16, 14, 17.
Yeah, I mean, it's through the roof, but the thing is, we knew enough to go and look for it because exactly what you said, it's in the wick zone, or it's about to be in the wick zone. So something's gonna happen here. Okay, so we've done that first part. We're looking. Now we have to see the trade, and part of seeing the trade is, okay, we know that at the 40 line it likes to advance through that. Now let's go and, look at some of the other things that play into it, in terms of some of the other things that make us want to take a trade. Where's our range for the hour? Where's our range for the day? Do we have some type of price action that's sitting out there that goes and convinces us, okay, this is the one that's going to get through, and that's the thing. You're looking for the trade, and then you're seeing the things that go and say, yeah, now it's time to jump on, as you say, jump on the horse and run the race.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I had mentioned, I think in part 1 of the video, is sometimes if you're looking for something, you'll miss other things, and then in hindsight, you'll go, "Oh, it was so obvious."
Yeah, well, that's it's sort of like let's imagine that you walk up to the Grand Canyon, right? And you sit there or you stand there and you look at that visual of that canyon and how beautiful it is and how vast it is. Okay, and what you could do is let's say you're looking right down at the river, and you're just watching the river in one little spot, and because you think something's happening down there. Well, that's great and all, but the problem with that is that if you don't expand your view out, you miss the beauty of the rest of the vista that's before you. You need to go and sometimes take a step back and look at, there's nothing wrong with going and tunneling in, but the problem is there are things that are going to happen to your left and to your right, and half the time the things that are going to happen to your left and your right are going to be great opportunities that you miss. And, the other half of the things that can happen to your left and your right are things that are going to go and really hurt you. If and that's the importance of, that trading is one of these things where, you sort of got to be like that deer out in the field, you're vulnerable out there. And so what you got to do is you got to be, you put your head down, you get your food, you eat your food. But if you notice when a deer eats in the field, it takes a bite, and immediately, as soon as it goes and grabs the food, puts the head up in the air, puts its ears up in the air, puts its sniffer up in the air to look and see what else is going on around it. And then, when it's time to eat again, sticks its head down. So that's the thing. We have to go and, it's not like you can go and just look. You can't just go and see. You've got to be doing these things in concert with each other. And that's going back to, the first thing that you said on this video, and that's the whole idea of honing your skills, because you got to be able to go and go back and forth with these things. I'll tell a story on you. You had gone into a short way back below the 40, and you got your money and got out, and then it turned around and went back up and was coming out the other side. And I remember you saying, "Dadgummit, I should have been long there. I got to remember to go and take the trade in the other direction too."
Yeah.
And you missed a great opportunity at that time. You missed an opportunity of picking up 7-8 pips. Reality is, you probably missed an opportunity of picking up 80 pips.
More than that, probably. Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. With trading, honing your skill is being glued in. Okay, where you don't become tunneled, and you see the whole picture of what's going on around you, okay? And at the same time, being honed in to the point of it, or being tunneled in to the point of saying, there's the trade, and nailing it. And there's only one way to get that, and that's called seed time. You got to be sitting there playing it and doing it, you know. And the thing is, as you get better at this, there are times when all of a sudden you get this gut, you know. It's sort of like you went into a trade and you say, you know what? I did everything right. I got into the trade. It's not working out. And you now take the step back. You look at the entire vista of everything that's going on. And then you say, oh, crap, this is a really bad spot I'm in. I need to do something about this. And that's the thing that actually keeps you in the money, because what that does is it, number one, prevents you from taking a big loss, you know, and because at that point you make a decision, I'm getting out because there's something going on here that I missed in the very beginning, or the market just changed. And that's the thing. The market, I haven't said this in a long time, but the market is a living organism as far as I'm concerned. And living organisms have the ability to go and just change. They make decisions, you know. And the reason why I say it's a living organism is because it's a you know, a coalescence of many humans. And even the computer algorithms, that's still a human because a human wrote the algorithm. So his biases are in there, you know. And so we just have to be able to go and recognize that and see it for what it is.
Right. And we're now we're just coming across the previous day's high at 1408. We just dropped below it by 4 pips, and that 1393 daily open from one day ago is also the weekly open. So we turned the week green. Now we're back down to the double O. So once again, here were some really nice opportunities. The previous M5 bar was an inside bar. So, you know, one of the things about looking for and seeing, you know, I always call indicators, you know, I even have a set I call training wheels, because in the beginning, you don't really know what to look for, and you really don't know what you're seeing. You're just seeing these things on a computer screen. What do they mean? And so the indicators, that some of them that I write are just to tell you what's going on. So after a while, you don't even need the indicators. I mean, for the most part, I can trade on a naked chart or just with some horizontal lines, because I can see inside bars, outside bars. You know, I can see other patterns that we look for. You know, higher highs, higher lows, all that stuff. And that's
Yeah,
just
but how did?
him.
I was just going to ask the question, but how did that come about?
Seat time. And like I said, and then, you know, using the indicators, which are just tools, and some of them I still use, some of them I don't. Some of them are just reminders, you know, to tell me what's going on. You know, for example, I really can't see ranges. I can see that, yeah, this is big, but look at these ranges. We got a 57 pip H1 range, a 58 pip the H1 one bar ago. I mean, this is huge. And by having this, it's like I'm alerted. It's just like, wow, something's going on here.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. You know,
Right.
it just lots. You know, there's lots of movement. We don't know why. Now I do know at 9 o'clock there was news, which probably no, I'm sorry. It was at 9 o'clock, but it was yellow news. Normally that doesn't affect things, but apparently today it did. You know.
Yeah, because I've got the my dashboard up, and there's a bunch of pairs made highs this hour, and there's we got 3 pairs that made lows this hour.
Right.
So something's going on. And you know what else is going on is the fastest 15 minutes in trading is up once again. So, fellow traders, you know, looking for versus seeing, and as Walmal said, you have to hone your skills. And one way of honing your skills is just, you know, learning one method at a time, because that's how you learn to juggle one ball at a time. And just always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.